Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Around the Town with Chuck. My name is Chuck Guglielmo, a weekly interview show where we talk with interesting people around the community. And today we have a gentleman in from Catholic Charities. His name is Bill Niemi. Bill, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome, Chuck. Glad to be here.
Bill does a lot of service for not only Ashtabula City, but Ashtabula County as well. We're going to find out a lot about that service today. First of all, before we talk about your work at Catholic Charities, let's talk a little bit about you, Bill. Give us a little biography on yourself.
I'm a longtime businessman with about 40 years of experience. I'm a CPA, a degree in accounting from Lake Erie College, master's degree from Cleveland State in an HR concentration. So I've got banking experience and also some manufacturing behind me. And then also social service.
Mm-hmm. CPA, how long have you been a CPA?
Passed the exam back in 1986. So I've
so
had my
quite a
license
while.
for a long time.
Mm-hmm. In Ashtabula City?
I was a state certification for the CPA, and so I had to take an examination and passed it back in 86.
Very good.
So.
Bill Niemi, as I said, works with Catholic Charities, but he also is very active and involved in his parish at Our Lady of Peace Parish in Ashtabula. Let's start there, Bill, before we get into
Sure.
Catholic Charities. You're involved with the CCD program over there. It's close to me because I'm an instructor. I've been an instructor here at Corpus Christi Parish for 28 years. Tell us how you got into the CCD stuff at Our Lady of Peace.
Well, actually, our parishes have gone through a merger in Ashtabula, 3 parishes coming into one, and I worked as a teacher in the program, started kind of as an aide and then kind of stepped into a teaching role and had various grade levels. So I taught probably for about 11 or 12 years, and then Maria Crookston, who was a DRE at our parish, and she's now over at St. John's, encouraged me to kind of step into the principal role, and I've been in that role now for 2 years. And so we have a great group of teachers and a good group of students that come every week to be there. Unfortunately, our numbers are getting a little bit smaller. When I've seen our numbers as high as about 100 students a week. Now we're getting down to around between 60 and 70 every week.
You say you started as an aide, and how many years were you an aide?
Probably 2 years, and then kind of stepped into a teaching role.
Did you know at that time when you were going to become an aide that you might want to be a teacher?
I kind of felt that I could do it. At first I just wasn't real sure, plus there was the time commitment and stuff. And then there was an opportunity to teach 7th and 8th grade. It was a combined group. And so I stepped into that role. Mm-hmm. And it was really a great experience. I've enjoyed it over the years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoy it too. What do you like best about it, would you say?
I think it's fun to be with the kids. I think you're helping the kids to learn and to grow their faith, but in return, they're also helping me to grow my faith.
In all the years that you were there, how have you seen the program grow? I know you said enrollment was down. Outside of that, how have you seen the program grow?
More as the program has developed, as we went from 3 parishes down to 1 parish, the religious education program was a pretty strong, growing program. And so we got a lot of input and a lot of new teachers that were maybe affiliated with the other parishes, brought new ideas into the program, and it's been just a really good mix.
And your CCDs on Sundays?
Sundays from 9:15 to 10:45. Yes.
Is that in between Mass schedules?
Yes, it is. We have the 3 worship sites in Ashtabula, the Our Lady of Mount Carmel site, St. Joseph's site, and then also the Mother of Sorrows site. And what Father Thomas has done, he's tried to have either a Mass that would be immediately before CCD at 8 o'clock, or a Mass at 11 o'clock at Mother of Sorrows, so that students and families could go to Mass to make it a little bit easier. So they've been very accommodating about that.
Even though the enrollment is down, the good news is I was talking with Keith Corlew, who was on my show recently. their school, St. John's School, has grown in enrollment, and that's great news because it wasn't too long ago that we didn't even think we were going to have a Catholic school.
Yes. And from what I understand with their grade school levels, they're adding teachers every year because of the enrollment. And so it's amazing. They're doing a great job out there. And we, of course, for Sacramento Prep, we do partner with St. John's. And so the St. John kids also are getting Sacramento Prep there, but then they also are receiving that assistance through the parish.
You say you have a good teaching staff for CCD.
Yes.
Have those teachers been there quite a few years, or do you get new people? Is it hard to recruit?
We most of the teachers have been teaching for several years. We do have 2 new individuals that joined our staff this year, and they actually came aboard mid-year. We had a couple that stepped away because of health reasons. One was teaching 7th grade, one was teaching 8th grade, and 2 individuals came aboard.
And this is grades 1 through 8?
Yes, 1 through 8, yes.
And then a youth ministry group as well, or no?
There is a youth ministry group that's 7th and 8th grade, and then also high school. And it's kind of combined with the St. John's kids, and that's under the direction of a lady by the name of Lindsay Fuentes.
The good thing this year, I teach the confirmation class here at Corpus Christi. So I understand that all the Catholic CCD programs around Ashtabula County are all going to make confirmation at the cathedral at the same time on May
Yes.
18th. Is
That's
that your
correct.
understanding?
Yes,
So that's good to have all the whole county there at the cathedral, I think.
I agree.
Yeah, very good. And of course, the confirmation students need a retreat day. Have you guys had that yet?
It's been scheduled, I believe it's April the 13th for our group.
Okay, very good. Bill Nemi, my guest on Around the Town with Chuck, who works also at Catholic Charities. Bill, what exactly is Catholic Charities for our viewers who may not be aware?
Okay, Catholic Charities is a nonprofit agency, and we are affiliated with the Youngstown Diocese Catholic Charities Corporation. So we're an affiliated agency. The diocese has an agency here in Ashtabula County, located in Ashtabula, Ohio. There's also a regional office that takes care of Mahoney, Trumbull, and Columbiana County, and then there's also a Portage Stark agency.
Being an affiliate of the Youngstown Diocese, do you have to go down there for meetings at all?
There
Representing us?
are some occasional meetings, and that would be primarily our executive director attends those. Occasionally, staff members are invited if it's pertaining maybe to a program that they're involved with.
And what exactly is your work that you do at Catholic Charities?
Okay, I am a housing and financial literacy counselor. I've been with the agency nearly 3 years. So I'm working with individuals to help them to be able to manage their money, help them to be able to budget their resources, oftentimes helping them with issues regarding debt. Also, maybe if they're looking to purchase their first home, maybe they're required to do pre-purchase counseling. And then also working with individuals that are in like a mortgage delinquency situation and maybe facing foreclosure action.
And this is Monday through Friday?
I'm there 4 days a week, so I'm a part-time staff member, but I arrange my time by appointment to meet the needs of the clients.
What about some of the programs that are currently offered at Catholic Charities? Can you talk about those at all?
Sure.
And what they do?
We have a basic needs program and also distribution programs, and that helps with things like rent and utilities, prescription assists, diapers, formula. We also have a distribution center that's open on Tuesdays from 10 until 1 on the 2nd floor of our building, and they do have clothing for infants, children, and adults. And we seem to be getting a lot of donations this year, particularly for men, so that's really great. So we have, and that's staffed by volunteers. We also have some educational programs. We have a healthy relationship program, and that's actually delivered in several of the school districts in Ashtabula County. Also, we have a Getting Ahead program, Opening Doors or Bridges Out of Poverty. And then we also do a lot of budget workshops and financial literacy workshops in the community as well. Also, we have the guardianship program, and also a representative payee-ship program. And then, of course, the housing and financial literacy consultations that we do.
So plenty of programs. Are any of these programs that you've mentioned relatively new, or they've been long stays there at Catholic Charities?
There's a couple of them are relatively new. The Bridges Out of Poverty program and the Getting Ahead program. Those are two new programs.
And these programs are staffed, of course, by Catholic Charities people. Are you able to say who staffs these programs?
They are staffed by Catholic Charities staff, and we're employees of the Diocese of Youngstown. Our executive director is Lynn Zalewski, and the assistant director is Jill Valentic. And then we have a staff of individuals that manage the different programs.
Lynn Zalewski, a great person, of course. She's been on around the town with Chuck, and I believe is retiring here in a couple of months.
Yes.
Even though she will be a big loss, Jill Valentic will fill in for her.
That's correct.
Can you talk a little bit about Jill and how you think she will do?
Oh, she's going to do a great job. Lynn is leaving the agency in a good position, and we have some very strong programs, and Jill is going to do a great job.
You said you deal with housing.
Yes.
Could you give us an example of a typical housing client?
Absolutely. I just finished working with a client, started working with them in October, and they were a referral from the Getting Ahead program. And so it was a husband and wife, and I'm going to call them Dave and Mary. And Dave and Mary had several children, with another one on the way, and there was a sudden loss of a job. And they fell behind with their mortgage payment. And they got to a point where they were about 3 months behind. And they were beginning to get some threatening mail from the mortgage company and threatening foreclosure. And so we were able to work with them. And initially, because there was no income coming in, we didn't have a lot of programs. What we were really looking to was for the mortgage company maybe to provide some type of assistance, maybe a forbearance or a moratorium on their payments. Well, he was able to secure employment, and we were able to use Project Assisi funds to be able to help them. And it was a combination where we helped with a full payment. The client was able to make a full payment. We also referred the client over to Ashtabula County Department of Job and Family Services. They were able to help make a payment through the PRC program. And then Assisi was also able to make another half payment. The client was able to make a half a payment. And we were able to get them completely up to date. They were at risk of losing their home. And this couple, they worked very, very hard at trying to manage their money, to understand where their money was going, and then also they were focused on being able to save their home. And so the case has been closed. We will do a follow-up with them in a few months to see how they're doing. But again, a success story.
Yes, very much so. Housing clients, any idea like how many housing clients you see or you have?
Right now, looking at last year's statistics, we had 172 people that received some type of housing counseling.
Countywide.
Countywide. That could have been maybe a 1 or 2 appointments, or it could be a long-term commitment. Generally, with the people that are in a mortgage delinquency situation, we're working together for several months on a fairly regular basis, touching base every month.
How can people apply for services at Catholic Charities?
Our office is located in the First Commonwealth Bank Building in downtown Ashtabula. Our address is 4200 Park Avenue, and we're on the 3rd floor. And our office is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 until 5. And so an individual could stop in the office and ask to meet with a counselor. There's a brief application that they complete, and then we we'll schedule time to meet with them, oftentimes the same day that they come in.
Obviously, Bill, you enjoy your work at Catholic
I do.
Charities. What part of it it makes you? I guess I can't get it out. What makes you more enjoyed about doing that job?
Every day is a little bit different. You get a chance to meet a variety of people that sometimes they're experiencing some big issues, and you're trying to find a way to help them. Oftentimes it's a happy situation, maybe when a couple is wanting to buy their first home. And of course that can be very stressful also. But again, I think it's just the diversity of the clients, the different types of programs and problems that they're faced with, and then obviously it is an extension of my faith, being able to use my talents to help others.
Any idea, or are there any numbers that how many people Catholic Charities sees in a day for all their programs and stuff?
It varies depending upon the day, depends on the situation, or maybe programs that are taking place. But over a year's time, typically we're seeing around 12,000 individuals.
Wow. That's great, I guess.
It is.
That you can offer those services to that
Yes.
many people.
Yes.
Yeah. Just like I asked you about Our Lady of Peace Parish and the CCD program, how have you seen Catholic Charities grow throughout the years, or at least for your stay there?
Again, I've been with the agency for going on 3 years, and we have seen some new programs that have come into place. For instance, the Bridges and the Getting Ahead program.
Who's responsible for getting those new programs in?
I think it's the leadership of the agency, and they also are constantly trying to look at what are the needs of the community. And they look at funding for different programs, and as they're able to bring them aboard, they're introduced. So, but we've added a lot of staff over the last year or so, and we joke that we're running out of space.
Well, Bill, you guys do great work at Catholic Charities. Is there anything else you'd like to add that I may have not asked about the organization?
I think you covered a lot. I think we covered a lot.
Okay. Well, keep up the good work there.
Okay.
Enjoyed your visit here on Around the Town with Chuck, and good luck.
Okay. Thank you, Chuck.
Bill Nemi of Catholic Charities, my guest today on Around the Town with Chuck.